Hello everyone, welcome to the CPT Coding Guidelines series. In this tutorial series, we will be discussing Anesthesia Coding Guidelines with AAPC CPC exam type questions for each section. In this video, we are going to break down the CPT Anesthesia Coding Guidelines in a simple and practical way. Anesthesia services are reported using CPT codes ranging from 100 to 1999 plus appropriate anesthesia modifiers. These codes are used when the anesthesia is administered or under the supervision of a physician, particularly anesthesiologist. The anesthesia package includes several components. Those are pre-operative evaluation, post-operative visits, administration of anesthesia. Those are general, regional or MEC support, fluid and blood administration, routine monitoring like ECG, blood pressure, oxygen levels, capnography and mass spectrometry. However, some services are not included and must be billed separately. This includes special invasive monitoring procedures such as arterial line monitoring, central venous pressure, and Swan-Ganz catheter. For example, if an anesthesiologist places a central line for monitoring, that procedure is billed separately. So remember, routine monitoring is bundled, but advanced monitoring is separately reportable. Moderate sedation versus anesthesia. Moderate sedation is different from full anesthesia. The moderate conscious sedation is a type of sedation where the patient is less alert than normal, but he is still able to respond to instructions, touch, or both. So, if the same physician performs the procedure and provide moderate sedation, special sedation codes, those are 99,151 to 153 are used. If a second or the different physician provides sedation in a hospital or a facility setting, then codes 99,155 to 157 are used. You will understand this when you do the examples. And in the non-facility settings with second physician, that is not reported. But moderate sedation does not include minimal sedation such as anxiolysis, deep sedation, monitored anesthesia care, or general anesthesia. Regional or anesthesia by proceduralist. If the same physician performs surgery and anesthesia, Modifier 47 is used, not the Anesthesia CPT code. For example, a surgeon performs a skin lesion excision under regional anesthesia they administer. Here we have to use the procedure code plus modifier 47. So there's no anesthesia code used here. The modifier 47 says anesthesia by surgeon, regional or general anesthesia provided by the surgeon may be reported by adding modifier 47 to the basic service. This does not include local anesthesia. Note, modifier 47 would not be used as a modifier for the anesthesia procedure. So, this modifier used with the surgical procedure as a modifier. Anesthesia time reporting. Time reporting is extremely important in anesthesia billing. Anesthesia time starts when the anesthesiologist starts preparing the patient in the operating room. It ends when the anesthesiologist no longer in personal attendance and the patient is safely transferred to recovery. So key points here are continuous attendance required, report total time, local payer rules determine the time units. For example, if anesthesia starts at 9 a.m. and the patient is moved to recovery at 11:15 a.m., then the anesthesia time is 2 hours and 15 minutes. Some services are not included in anesthesia codes and must be reported separately. This includes office visits, hospital visits, consultations, or special medical reports. You can see those are used in EM code section. For example, pre-op medical clearance visit 1 day prior surgery is included in EM code, not anesthesia code. Supplies and materials. Items beyond usual anesthesia package may be billed separately. Example, sterile trays, special drugs, disposable supplies. So those are coded using 99,070 or appropriate supply code. For example, special nerve block tray used. So here supply code reported separately. Multiple procedures under one anesthetist. If multiple surgeries are performed under one anesthesia session, you report the anesthesia code for the most complex procedure, then the total combined anesthesia time. So here you do not report multiple anesthesia codes. For example, the procedures are hernia repair and appendectomy. So in these two, appendectomy is the most complex. So you have to report the anesthesia code for appendectomy plus total time for both. unlisted anesthesia services. If procedures doesn't have a CPT code, you use the unlisted anesthesia code. The unlisted anesthesia code is 1999. But you must include a special report explaining extent of service, medical necessity, time and effort, and equipment used. For example, new experimental anesthesia technique, here you have to use the unlisted anesthesia code plus the special report. Anesthesia modifiers. Modifiers are essential in anesthesia coding. Every anesthesia code generally includes a physical status modifier which describes the patient's health before surgery. So anesthesia CPT code plus physical status modifier. Physical status modifiers indicate the patient's pre-operative health status. The physical status modifiers are represented by the initial letter P followed by a single digit from 1 to 6 as defined in the following list. P1 for a normal healthy patient, P2 for a patient with mild systemic disease, P3 for a patient with severe systemic disease, P4 for a patient with severe systemic disease that is constant threat to life, P5 a moribund patient who is not expected to survive without the operation, P6 a declared brain dead patient whose organs are being removed for donor purposes. So these 6 levels are consistent with the American Society of Anesthesiologists ranking of the patient physical status. Some examples for the anesthesia modifiers are a healthy patient for minor ENT surgery. Here we have to use the anesthesia code with P1. Second, a diabetic patient for gallbladder surgery. Here we can use the anesthesia code with P2. So P2 describes a patient with mild systemic disease. So this diabetic has a mild disease. And a severe COPD patient for lung surgery. Here the anesthesia code with P3. P3 for a patient with severe systemic disease that is constant threat to life. And another example, multi-organ failure trauma patient. Here the anesthesia code with P5. Qualifying circumstances, that is add-on codes. So sometimes anesthesia is more complex due to special conditions. So these are called qualifying circumstances and they are reported as add-on codes. But these codes are never used alone. They are always added to the primary anesthesia code. So the qualifying circumstances codes are 99,100 for extreme age. Extreme age is less than 1 year or more than 70 years. And 99,116 for total body hypothermia, 135 for controlled hypotension, and 144 emergency conditions. So let's see some example. An elderly patient, a 75-year-old patient undergoing hip replacement. Here you have to code the primary CPT code for the anesthesia, then 99,100. And emergency trauma surgery, emergency exploratory laparotomy after accident. So here anesthesia CPT code plus 99,140. 99,140 means emergency condition. Example 3, induced hypotension for brain surgery. Here anesthesia code with the 99,135, that is for controlled hypotension. Example 4, infant cardiac surgery. Here anesthesia for the CPD and 99,100. 99,100 for less than 1 year. So infant mean less than 1 year. Now let's see some real AAPC CPC type questions for these guidelines. Question number 1. Which of the following services is included in the anesthesia package? A. Swan-Ganz catheter placement. B. Post-operative pain management visit. C. Central venous line placement. D. Arterial line monitoring. Think the answer. The correct answer is B. Post-operative pain management visit. So the anesthesia package includes pre-operative evaluation, intraoperative anesthesia care, post-operative visits, routine monitoring, fluid and blood administration. So the post-operative visits related to anesthesia care are bundled into the anesthesia service, but other 3 are not included in the anesthesia bundle. Question number 2. An anesthesiologist begins preparing a patient for anesthesia at 7:30 a.m. The patient is safely transferred to recovery at 10 a.m. What is the reportable anesthesia time? A. 2 hours, B. 2 hours and 50 minutes, C. 2 hours and 30 minutes, D. 3 hours. Think the answer. The correct answer is 2 hours and 30 minutes. The anesthesia time begins when the anesthesiologist starts preparing the patient and ends when the patient is placed in recovery. So 7:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. there's 2 hours and 30 minutes. This is continuous and must reflect personal attendance. Question number 3. When multiple surgical procedures are performed during a single anesthesia session, The coder should report A. An anesthesia code for each procedure, B. Only the anesthesia code for the least complex procedure, C. The anesthesia code for the most complex procedure and total time, D. Multiple anesthesia codes with reduced modifiers. Think the answer. The correct answer is C. The anesthesia code for the most complex procedure and total time, as I explained in the guidelines. So the guideline says report anesthesia CPT code for the most complex procedure and report the combined total time. Here, do not report multiple anesthesia codes. Question number 4. Which code is reported when an anesthesia service is provided that has no specific CPT code available? There are 4 answers available. Think your answer. The correct answer is C. 1999 is the CPT code for unlisted anesthesia procedures. Question number 5. A surgeon administers regional anesthesia for a procedure they are also performing. How is the anesthesia reported? A. Separate anesthesia CPT code. B. Anesthesia CPT code with physical status modifier. C. Surgical CPT code with modifier 47. D. Moderate sedation code series. Think the answer. The correct answer is C. Surgical CPT code with modifier 47. When the same physician performs the surgery and administers regional or general anesthesia, do not report anesthesia CPT codes. Here append modifier 47 to the surgical procedure code. This indicates anesthesia was provided by the surgeon itself. Question number 6. Which of the following situations qualifies for the extreme age qualifying circumstance code? A. 2-year-old patient, B. 45-year-old trauma patient, C. 10-month-old infant, D. 65-year-old patient. Think the answer. The correct answer is C. 10-month-old infant. The qualifying circumstance code for extreme age applies to patients younger than 1 year and patients older than 70 years. So a 10-month-old infant qualifies here. Question number 7. Supplies and materials provided beyond those usually included in anesthetic services are reported using A. Evaluation and management codes, B. 99070 or appropriate supply codes, C. Anesthesia modifier P codes, C. Medicine section procedure codes. Think the answer. The correct answer is B. 99070 or appropriate supply codes. So supplies and materials beyond standard anesthesia package may be reported separately. These include sterile trays, special equipments, drug not normally included. So reported using 99070 or other appropriate supply codes. Question number 8. Which statement best describes when anesthesia time ends? A. When the surgical procedure ends. B. When the patient leaves the operating room. C. When the anesthesiologist is no longer in personal attendance and the patient is safely in the postoperative care. D. When the patient regains consciousness. Think the answer. The correct answer is C. Anesthesia times end when the anesthesiologist is no longer in personal attendance and the patient is safely placed under postoperative supervision. Question number 9. Which of the following is true regarding qualifying circumstance code? A. They are reported as standalone primary codes. B. They replace physical status modifiers. C. They are add-on codes reported with primary anesthesia codes. D. They are only used for emergency surgeries. Think the answer. The correct answer is C. The qualifying circumstance codes are add-on codes, cannot be used alone, provide additional information about complex anesthesia conditions, are reported in addition to primary anesthesia codes. Question number 10. Which physical status modifier is reported for a patient with severe systemic disease that is a constant threat to life? So there are 4 answers available. Think the answer. The correct answer is C, P4. When you look at the physical status modifier P4, a patient with severe systemic disease that is constant threat to life. Finally, a bonus question. Which of the following is the correct definition of an emergency in the context of qualifying circumstances? A. A situation requiring immediate surgery within 2 hours. B. An unexpected complication during the surgical procedure. C. A situation where a delay in treatment would lead to a significant increase in the threat to life or body part. D. A procedure performed outside of normal operating room hours. So think the answer and leave the answer in the comment section. If you need the answer and explanation for this question, please check the pinned comment. And if you have any doubts or any questions, you can put in the comment section, or else you can email me, or you can WhatsApp me to the email and the WhatsApp number displayed here. So please subscribe my channel and stay with me. Thank you.